Well, it's a very warm welcome and thank you for joining me on this independent off-tube studio commentary. It is the evening kickoff in the Championship today as Swansea City take on Blackburn Rovers. So it's the side in 18th taking on the side in second place. Blackburn, after they suffered that 7-0 humbling against Fulham, have really discovered some form. Just tailed off a little bit actually in the last 2 or 3 games, maybe the last month or so, but barring that, got to say that Tony Mowbray's side very much up there in that automatic promotion mix. They start the day a point ahead of Bournemouth, albeit they do have a game in hand even before they've played this one this evening. Swansea City, on the other hand, they find themselves in 18th place. Safe from relegation, you would say. 12 points clear, so certainly not looking in that direction too much, you would have thought, but still a bit of a job to do, really, to try and get into that playoff mix. They start the evening 13 points behind the playoff places. Although that said, they do have a couple of games in hand over most of the sides above them. But we are underway here at the Swansea.com Stadium. And for the home side, for Russell Martin's Swansea, it is Andy Fisher in goal with a back three of Ben Cabango, Flynn Downs and Ryan Manning. The four across the middle are Cyrus Christie, Olivier Ntcham, Matt Grimes and Hannes Wolff, with Jamie Paterson, Joel Pirot and Michael Obafemi as the attacking three. As for Blackburn Rovers, Thomas Kaminski is in goal. It's a back three of Dara Lenihan, Jean-Paul Van Heck and Scott Wharton. And then it's Ryan Nyambe, Lewis Travis, Joe Rothwell and Adeo Zifuk in the midfield, with John Buckley, Ryan Hedges and Ryan Giles as the attacking three. Just seeing Joe Rothwell, 3 goals and 7 assists for the Blackburn number 8 this season. Ryan Manning in possession now for Swansea down the left, plays it forward, but that doesn't quite get through to Wolf. And now Nyambe, Fuller running, getting towards the edge of the area. Great run this from Nyambe, pulls the ball back, a strike coming in, but it's a bit of a scuffed effort in the end. Looks like it might have been Giles with the effort. And Swansea City looking to go on a counter. The referee, Tim Robinson, was thinking about stopping play for a free kick to the home side. But in the end, he allowed play to go on. And we'll just see this replay again. It was Manning who played the ball in towards Wolf. He lost it far too easily to Ryan Nyambe. Great run from Nyambe. Got into the penalty area, laid that ball off, but the strike in the end, it was Buckley with the effort. Just couldn't quite get his right foot through that one. And it's back for a free kick to free kick to Swansea, I should say. We're now going back towards Flynn Downs. Of course, very few Championship games today with the FA Cup 4th round. Plenty of Championship sides still involved in that. But in the earlier games, Blackpool beat Bristol City by 3-1, with goals from Hamilton, Medine and Bowler. Williams, Wells, I should say, I beg your pardon, getting the goal back for Bristol City late on. But it was Blackpool that won that game by 3-1. Hull City losing 1-0 at home to Preston. Archer with the goal for Preston just after the restart in the second half. But here at the Swansea.com Stadium, it's the visitors trying to set a bit of an early pace here. Ball now back with Wharton. Plays it square to Van Heck. Up now towards Travis. As Swansea looking to try and press quite high up the field here. Blackburn are in possession deep inside their own half, but Swansea have sent 3 or 4 players forward just to try and hurry Rovers along. As I mentioned, Blackburn's form after that hammering against Fulham really has been excellent. Their first defeat came just a couple of weeks ago against Hull City. Did have a defeat away against Wigan Athletic in the FA Cup. But here come Blackburn now down the right-hand side. A cross flashed in. It's a decent cross as well by Lenihan from that right-hand side. I think there might have been a push inside the penalty area. Referee Tim Robinson stopping play. This time it was Zifuik down the right-hand side. Got that ball in. And as it was played across from that left-hand side by Giles, so close to Nyambe, and the second time around when that ball's whipped in from the right, Nyambe was there again, just a little bit too far away from him though. And Swansea City now playing out from the back. It's with Grimes, goes back towards Fisher, being closed down by Buckley. A scoff clearance there from Fisher in the end, out for a throw to Blackburn down the left-hand side. So far we've had nearly 5 minutes on the clock. The home side haven't really crossed the halfway line with any kind of possession yet so far. It's Rovers trying to assert a bit of early dominance, but the visitors now back with Jean-Paul Van Heck on the halfway line. Square to Dara Lenihan. Long ball from Lenihan now towards the edge of the area, but that's easy for Cabango. He can leave that for his goalkeeper, and then Fisher bowls this out quickly to Ryan Manning. Swansea just need to inject a little bit more pace into their possession early on in this game. And just as I say that, they're in trouble of, they're in the danger of losing the ball again, and they do. It's John Buckley that brings it away for Blackburn. Grimes just caught in possession. Buckley threads that ball through to Hedges. The Welshman not too far away from getting a strike towards goal. Cabango just doing enough to get in his way there. As we see as this ball was played in, Cabango just got his body in the way, slides in, and to make sure that that ball ends up with his goalkeeper. So the home side now in possession on the halfway line here with Flynn Downs. Looked left and right, just decided to leave this ball though for Grimes. And then Grimes towards Wolf on the left-hand side. Back to Manning. Wolf trying to find a bit of space, but Niambi is close by, having to go back inside now towards Nachamp. Moving forward is Flynn Downs. First time we've really seen Swansea in any kind of possession over the halfway line. I certainly need to do more of that because Blackburn really have made a bright start. As I say, Swansea's last couple of games, they have lost them to 0. They lost 2-0 away at Hull City, and then they lost 1-0 at home to Luton in their last game. They play Bristol City, and so Stoke City and Bristol City in the next week as well. Do Russell Martin's side for a trip to Bramall Lane, and then a game against Bournemouth towards the end of February as well. Meanwhile, for Blackburn, they are at home to Nottingham Forest in midweek before a game away at West Brom next weekend. In fact, that's going to be the Monday night game on the 14th, Valentine's Day, before a game at home to Millwall, and then a game against Sheffield United. So a couple of similar opponents for these two sides coming up. But Russell Martin, of course, appointed at the start of this season, looking to try and get Swansea as close as they have been in the previous two seasons. With Swansea losing in the semi-finals to Brentford in the playoffs 2 seasons ago, and losing to the same side in the final last season. Really have been itching to get back into the Premier League, and it's just proof as to how hard it is to get out of this division. Seen some of the results this season. Really is very hard to predict a championship weekend. Certainly getting all 12 games right is very, very hard indeed. As Russell Martin just flicking the ball away from the Blackburn man, Lewis Travis. Travis a little bit unhappy about that one. But Russell Martin, I don't think he'll be too concerned, bearing in mind that it is 7.5 minutes on the clock. Depending off Tube Studio commentary, it is goalless, and it was a throw-on round about the halfway line. So certainly it's not as if Blackburn lost an attacking opportunity there, but Lenihan tries to start an attack with a very long ball over the top, but that's far too close to Andy Fisher, the Swansea keeper. Ryan Manning then playing the ball away from his keeper. Thankfully, though, there wasn't too much pace on the back pass, so the keeper will keep it in play, but it gives Blackburn players a chance to press down this right-hand side, and Manning in the end forced to just hurry his clearance slightly. It's kept in play here by Lenihan. The loose ball is pounced on here by John Buckley, who's brought down. He wants a free kick. Referee agrees with him. Although Jamie Paterson doesn't agree with that. He feels as though it shouldn't have been a free kick to the visitors. But yeah, just gets tangled with John Buckley. There's not too much contact in fairness. But at the same time, doesn't get any of the ball. So it's quite an easy decision really for Tim Robinson. And a free kick to Blackburn now. About 30 yards from goal. Joe Rothwell has put the ball down. Depending on whether it's a difficult one here for Rothwell because it's quite central. So if he's going to cross it, it's going to be so clear to the defenders and the goalkeeper where the ball is. And if he tries to shoot, it's not really the ideal angle for a right-footer to shoot from this sort of range. So we'll see what Rothwell is going to do with this one. Stands over it and sends a ball into the penalty area. It's far too low though, easily headed away by Flynn Downs. Ball is kept alive, played down the right hand side here for Ryan Giles, but that one is cleared away, although it's still kept alive. It's won back here by Rothwell. Blackburn won another free kick at the edge of the area as Buckley goes down. Referee not interested this time though, and it's now down the right hand side here with Cyrus Christie for Swansea. Plays it into Olivier Nachamp. Cham under a little bit of pressure, playing a quick 1-2 there with Jamie Paterson. And then he goes back in towards Flynn Downs as the visitors momentarily without the ball here. Swansea just need to make a bit more of a mark on this game. Not really been close to the Blackburn penalty area so far. Kaminski in the Blackburn goal has had absolutely nothing to do. In fairness, Andy Fisher hasn't had too much to do, but there's been a little bit of activity in front of his goal already. Swansea going to win themselves a free kick here on the halfway line. That's after a foul, and the referee might just have a quick word there with John Buckley as well, because he kicked the ball. I say kicked the ball, but he shot towards goal from the halfway line. I think it was pretty clear the whistle had already gone. So that certainly angered a few of the Swansea fans there behind the goal after Buckley had cleared it long, but just taken short now, the free kick. It's with Downs in a square now to Manning. Manning over towards Wolf on the left-hand side. Now it's with Paterson. Paterson inside, back to Downs. He's got options here. He's crossing the halfway line now. Looks over towards the right-hand side. Cabango's got forward. Cabango's ball a little bit too long for Christie. And in the end, the Cham saw that Christie wasn't going to get on the end of it, so he tried to chase it down himself. But the ball was just a little bit too quick for him. So he's out for a Blackburn throw down the left-hand side. Level with the edge of the penalty area. It's been a positive start here from the visitors that wants to try and maintain this. Long throw there from Wharton, headed forward by Cabango. Christie now fighting to keep this ball in play. Doesn't manage it though. It's out for a Blackburn throw. You can see Tony Mowbray now. Pretty pleased with the way his side have started, albeit they wasted a couple of chances early on to get the right cross into the box. Could have actually already had a lead here early on in this game. But it is the home side just starting to see a bit more of the ball now, and it's with Jamie Paterson. Spots the run down the left-hand side of Hannes Wolf. Edge of the area now, Wolf trying to get away from Niambi. Niambi not making it easy for him though. Plays it back now towards the edge of the area. Paterson just about gets there, but then that's good play from Jean-Paul Hegg to then bring the ball away here for Blackburn. Van Hegg now over the halfway line, and he spots the run down the right-hand side of Ryan Giles, but Flynn Downs gets there first. He puts it out for a throw. Be a throw to Blackburn down the right-hand side. Jean-Paul Van Hegg really has been an important addition to this Blackburn defence. In 10 of his last appearances, Blackburn have kept a clean sheet 8 times. That is certainly no coincidence. As Niambi now with the throw at the edge of the Swansea City penalty area, playing a quick 1-2 with Lewis Travis. Travis just robbed of the ball there by Paterson. Then Paterson overplays it, and then he's got a bit quite lucky there, Paterson, in the end. I think he was falling to the ground and just played the ball off the Blackburn man. I don't think there was too much intent in that. He'll be quite happy to see that go out for a Swansea throw. It just diffuses that little bit of pressure as Blackburn were trying to get forward again. It's Cabango now for Swansea over towards the right-hand side for Olivier Ntcham. Ntcham under pressure here from Joe Rothwell. Goes back in towards Cabango. Cabango looked up, saw Christie on that right-hand side, just prefers to across the halfway line himself. Goes back towards Manning. It's with Flynn Downs over the halfway line. Over to Manning again. Back now towards Flynn Downs as Blackburn just sitting a little bit deeper. I'm quite surprised actually to see the front three players quite close to their own box as well. Bit of a shove there at the edge of the area as Lenihan was trying to shepherd that ball back towards his goalkeeper Kaminski. But in the end, gets through to the Belgian, no problem at all, and he bowls it out quickly towards the left-hand side. Scott Wharton now with the ball over the top, but that is a clearance, not a pass there from the Blackburn centre-back. Easily claimed there by Andy Fisher. Just to tell you that there is an FA Cup game being played right now. It's Cambridge United against Luton. A derby of sorts there, you would say, to neighbouring counties, Cambridgeshire and Bedfordshire, coming to blows, and potentially there may be an early goal for Luton in that game. I'll confirm that. Yes, confirming that Luton have taken an early lead at Cambridge. There's also a 6 o'clock Premier League game available on our service. Kicking off in 15 minutes is going to be Burnley against Watford. Sean Dyche's Burnley having to make up a lot of ground, not just in terms of points, but in terms of the games played We've seen more than anybody else in terms of cancellations or postponements because of the pandemic this season. We'll start making those games up, starting with this evening. Also a late kick-off in the FA Cup this evening, available on our service at 8 o'clock. It's going to be Spurs against Brighton. In the meantime, it's over on the halfway line. Possession for Swansea City. They are seeing a bit more of the ball now, so that certainly will be good news for Russell Martin and his players. Still struggling to create any kind of attacking possession though, but here comes Jamie Paterson down the left-hand side. Just stops his run, puts a right-footed cross in. That's a great ball, and it's in the back of the net. It's all far too easy. Michael Obafemi with his first touch. I haven't mentioned the Swansea number 9 yet in this game, but it doesn't matter. I've mentioned him now. On 15 minutes, he's given his side the lead, and it's all a little bit too easy from Swansea's point of view. And Tony Mowbray, he'll be furious at how Blackburn have conceded this goal. Really is very poor from the marking point of view. Take nothing away from Obafemi finding the chance, but Paterson with a little bit of space down the left-hand side, cuts in on his right, but nobody closes him down. And maybe Michael Obafemi is literally just wandering into the penalty area. Nobody even acknowledges the fact that this dangerous striker with number 9 on his back is just going to wander into the box 6-7 yards out, watches that cross onto his head, and it's a very good finish. He nods it past Kaminski to make sure it is a goal, but frankly, it's from Blackburn's point of view, it's a bit of a defensive horror show, really. And Obafemi has his second championship goal of the season. Absolutely delighted with that one. It'll be interesting to see how Blackburn respond now, but Tony Mowbray sat down, arms folded, and yeah, it's just there's almost a look of resignation on his face there as to how his defenders let him down, because they really did. Obafemi should have been marked a lot better, as should have Paterson. Paterson should have been stopped, or at least more of an attempt should have been made to stop him when he tried to put that cross in from the left-hand side. But the game's restarted, 17 minutes gone, independent off-tube studio commentary, and Swansea City in 18th, the lead against Blackburn Rovers, who are second in the league by a goal to nil. The confirmation that in that Cambridge-Luton game, it was Reece Burke that had given Luton the lead, scoring there on 17 minutes. Paterson can certainly take a load of applause for the assist in this game. It was a very good ball to pick out Obafemi. So is he now playing out from the back with Lynn Downs, just leaving the ball now for Matt Grimes. Over towards the right-hand side for Cabango, back in towards goalkeeper Andy Fisher. Visitors now just struggling to get onto the ball, but that's a good challenge there from Buckley. Just slides in, just wins the ball back for his side. Now Nyambi's on the run down the right-hand side, but that pass to him is just a little bit under hit. Easy for Manning in the end to control things for Swansea. Plays it short now to Flynn Downs. Over towards Grimes. Swansea just getting a little bit boxed in at the edge of their own area. Grimes needs to think about that. He rolls it back towards Andy Fisher. And Fisher looks up, thought about clearing it long. Decides to just play a floated ball out towards the left-hand side. It's on now towards Matt Grimes. He now leaves it for Paterson. Paper I had Paterson as being slightly more over to the right-hand side. Certainly doesn't seem to be the case so far. It's very much on the left. And Grimes gets the ball back here from Ryan Manning and tries to thread an early ball through to Obafemi. This time Van Heck is in the right place, puts the clearance in. It's out for a throw to Swansea down the left-hand side. Chance to get players closer to the penalty area now here for Russell Martin's side. He had to get on that one quickly there, Van Heck, but it's a throw now gone back towards the halfway line. Swansea still in possession over here with Grimes to Manning. Manning over the top now, looking for the run of Pirot, but that one's headed back towards the halfway line. Back into Swansea possession though here with Matt Grimes. He plays it short to Cabango. Back to Grimes. Out to Manning. Downs just plays it short. Over towards the right-hand side here for Nacham. Bit of a heavy touch, but it just gets through to Obafemi, but he was forced to go back towards Cabango as Blackburn are trying to flood their own half now, just to make it that little bit more difficult for Swansea to go forward. It's with Flynn Downs, square to Ben Cabango. And the ball from Cabango over the top, headed on by Nacham, chased down here by Christie. Well marshalled though by Zivuik right towards the line. Both teams want this to be their own, and I think in the end, a nice little bit of sporting respect there from the two players, because when they both hit the deck once, the ball, it's gone out for a goal kick, by the way. Zivuik getting enough done there. But as they both hit the deck, both looked quite angry with each other for almost getting in each other's way, but then it was Christie putting his arm out, helping Zivuik up. Big pat on the back from both players there. It's always nice to see. You can see Tony Mowbray just getting some further instructions out to his players. He does have a game at home to QPR in the last game that Blackburn have in February, and then their first game in March is away to Fulham. So two big games coming up in around 3 or 4 weeks for Blackburn. Those games I mentioned before as well. It's so important for Rovers to maintain this great form that they've had since that humbling against Fulham. From Swansea's point of view, lost their last. They haven't scored a league game in the last 3, and their win against Preston was only by a goal to nil. So they were delighted to score first here, and they're on the attack again now with Obafemi at the right-hand edge of the area. Tees it up for Paterson, whose strike. It's not a good effort from Jamie Paterson in the end. He had a lot of time there at the edge of the area. He could have really measured his shot and got that one on target, or at least got it closer to on target. I mean, there is the big frame of Jan-Paul van Hecke in front of him. So potentially that just distracted him, that just sort of got him subconsciously perhaps just to try and elevate that one a little bit higher. But in the end, it goes a long, long way from goal. It looks like threatening. 8 goals and 5 assists this season for Paterson. Long clearance now over the top here from goalkeeper Kaminski. It's out for a throw to Blackburn after that header. Thrown out from Dara Lenihan. Bouncing ball there. Buckley chasing it, but it's Manning. Gets there first, finds Wolf. Wolf's pass just about makes it through to Obafemi. He plays it back to Nacham. And Nacham over the halfway line now. Good ball out towards the left-hand side. That's a good turn there from Wolf to find Paterson, who carries on his run into the penalty area. But in the end, that ball just a little bit too close there to Thomas Kaminski. And the Blackburn keeper comes out and claims that ball absolutely no problem at all. You can see now 23 minutes, coming up to 23 minutes on the clock. Swansea City 1, Blackburn Rovers 0. Only goal from Michael Obafemi. That was after a very good start from Blackburn in the first 5-7 minutes. The visitors with a couple of half chances. A strike from Giles. Effort from Buckley, and twice Nyambi was just a little bit away from where the ball was going for a cross, so once from the left and once from the right. Here is Nyambi now pressing at the edge of the Swansea penalty area. Blackburn just a bit too keen, I think, to try and win the ball back here. Lewis Travis may well have given a free kick away, but referee says play on. Strong challenge there, and that's going to be a free kick and potentially a booking here for Joe Rothwell as well. It's taken 23 minutes for Tim Robinson to produce his first yellow card, and I think it's right. I think there's a little kick out there from Joe Rothwell on Joel Perreault. There's no effort to try and win the ball either. He only wants to clip Perreault there, really. So I wouldn't say it's the most aggressive challenge that Joe Rothwell's made in his career, but Blackburn midfielder does pick up his 6th yellow card of the season. And an interesting stat from the last 10 minutes, this game really has swung in favour of Swansea City. Possession stat for the last 10 minutes, 89% for Swansea, just 11% for Blackburn Rovers. He's now with Cabango at the edge of his own penalty area. So plays it short now to Downs. Downs back over towards his own goal, as Fisher had to really rush out of his goal there, but manages to get there in the end just before the Blackburn man. Back with Downs. It's forward now to Paterson. To Cabango over towards the right-hand side. Christie now under pressure. Need to go back towards Cabango on the line. Under real pressure here, Cabango loses the ball rather easily in the end to Ryan Giles. And then Giles under pressure, having to track a long way back himself. Still keeps possession for Blackburn. He's then kicked by Ben Cabango, who has a look of horror that he can't believe that decision's gone against him, but I'm not so sure. I mean, he's holding onto Giles' shirt and then he kicks as well. And Cabango puts his hand up to apologise. Not for the free kick, he still feels as though it wasn't a free kick, but it was his loss of possession that led to Blackburn having that half chance in the first place. Free kick to Rovers over on the left-hand side. Big men are up for this one as well, including Van Heck, who's just trying to find himself a bit of space inside the penalty area. It's left-footed Giles and right-footed Rothwell standing over this one, and it's the left foot of Giles aimed at the edge of the 6-yard box, headed down. Oh, it's off the post, and the rebound is sent over the bar. Great chance that for Blackburn to level. Header initially comes off the post, and the rebound from John Buckley goes over the bar. Who is it with the first header? Confirming that it was a strong header there from Dara Lenihan, which beats the goalkeeper Andy Fisher, bounces off the post, drops straight to John Buckley. The ball was elevated, but I'm not going to make too much of an excuse there for John Buckley. He stood 6 yards out. Nobody really closing him down. The ball's dropping on his right foot, and he sends it over the bar. And now a long look down there from John Buckley as well. He knows that his side really should be level in this game. There is a bit of an injury stoppage now. Just trying to see who this is that's gone down for Swansea. They just seem to be sort of checking the jaw and the neck. So this may well be a head injury. It may well be a concussion check that they're doing here. It'll just take a little bit longer. So in any case, Cabango would have been very relieved to have seen that ball go over the bar. It was Cabango messing about with it at the edge of his own penalty area that cost Swansea possession. He then fouls Giles, brings him down to give Blackburn the free kick, and from that resulting free kick they hit the post and then missed from 6 yards out. So really Cabango certainly could have had a hand in Blackburn being level now, but he was let off after John Buckley sent that one over the bar. And it is out for a Swansea goal kick now, and it was Ryan Manning who was being checked over. Looks like everything's okay with him. Just having a quick word with the two physios. Can't really lip read what the physios are saying because they're still in their masks, of course, but now it's going to be Swansea to restart play. Tony Mowbray must be a little bit happy with the last couple of minutes because his side really looked shell-shocked after Swansea initially took the lead. Last couple of minutes, Blackburn just trying to get a bit more possession, just trying to force the issue a little bit more. And so the free kick now taken short by goalkeeper Andy Fisher, putting Downs under pressure straight away because John Buckley's still there at the edge of the area. Ball goes back to Fisher, clears it now towards Cabango down the right-hand side. He plays an early ball over the top. Obafemi beaten in the air there by Wharton. Zifuik then hooks it away. Picked up in midfield here though by Lewis Travis, and that's a huge ball over the top, and the goalkeeper Fisher comes out. I think there might have been a second of panic there for the keeper when he realised that he flew out of his penalty area and the ball wasn't going to reach him straight away. I think he was hoping to stay on his line and catch it. In the end, a comfortable header was the way that Andy Fisher dealt with that, and his side now in possession just by the centre circle here inside the Swansea half. Things just slowing down here now as the home side just look to try and frustrate Blackburn here. Paterson now down the left-hand side, back in towards Grimes, who's actually deeper than his own centre-backs in this bit of possession here for Swansea. But he threads a great ball forward, and that was a good run from the champ. And Obafemi, it was Obafemi who was stopped at the edge of the area on the right-hand side. It's now over on the left here with Hannes Wolf. Back towards Jamie Paterson. Back towards the halfway line now for Downs. He looks up left and right, can't see any easy options, just plays it square to Grimes. Grimes over towards Paterson on the left-hand side. And Paterson plays it back in towards Andy Fisher. Visitors here really lost their way after conceding that goal. And Swansea, they really want to try and capitalise on this, because the way the Blackburn have been playing over the last couple of months, you would expect there will be a flurry and improvement from Rovers at some stage. Coming up to 30 minutes gone. Independent off-tube studio commentary from the evening kick-off in the Championship from the Swansea.com stadium. Swansea City lead Blackburn Rovers by a goal to nil. But here come the visitors now with Ryan Nyambe, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Got two Swansea players closing him down. Rolls this one back to Dara Lenihan, crossed in towards the penalty area, headed away by Downs. Kept alive here by Deo Zifuik on the left-hand side. He's got support there from Rothwell, but he tries to thread the ball forward looking for Ryan Giles. That one's put out by Downs, and it's a throw on to Blackburn on the left-hand side. And just to tell you, that game in the Premier League is now kicking off between Burnley and Watford. Commentary of that game is available on our service. Big game that's for both teams. Of course, with Burnley bottom of the league with plenty of games to try and make up. They play second bottom Watford, 2 points ahead of them. And Sean Dyche, of course, there's a big personal connection between him and Watford. And then Watford now under yet another new manager in the form of Roy Hodgson. So it'll be a very interesting game that at Turf Moor. Commentary on that game is available on our service. We've got less than 15 minutes to go until half-time in this game. And Swansea leading Blackburn by a goal to nil. It's going to be a free kick there in favour of Blackburn. Zifuik there just pushed in the back. It's not much of a push, but enough to bring him down. It was Joel Pirot. Just put his hand on Zifuik, pushed him over. It's now Kaminski to take the free kick. On clearance from the Blackburn keeper, headed forward by Downs. Down here by Rothwell, over towards Giles. Giles and Zifuik playing a quick 1-2. Out for a throw now to Blackburn down the left. It will be maybe Zifuik to take it. Looks like he's come up for this one. Not seen too much of him yet down that left-hand side. Strong players, good on the ball. Has his attacking ability as well, just as well as being a good defender. But on that occasion, loses that one a little bit too easily. Zifuik playing in that midfield 4 on the left-hand side. Blackburn win it back quickly though. Lenihan steps forward, plays the ball which is easily cleared by Cabango, but it's now over on the right-hand side as Blackburn look, and Rovers are back in possession here with Ryan Hedges. Hedges back towards the halfway line now for Wharton. Here is Zifuik, puts it onto his right, puts a cross in. That's a good play there from Buckley holding it up. He needs some support. He tries to turn himself, breaks into the box. The referee has whistled, but it's not going to be for a penalty for Blackburn, which is what the visitors wanted. It's going to be a yellow card for John Buckley. So that certainly isn't the outcome that Rovers were expecting there. Buckley turns at the edge of the area. To say there's virtually no contact might even be too generous. I don't think there's any contact. There is a little bit of a clip of the heel there, but you could almost say that Buckley was fishing for that himself, a la Jamie Vardy. He seems to have patented that idea that you run into the box and then your leg tries to look for an opponent even though he's not actually near you. You're trying to get him to foul you by sort of drawing that foul. It's all gamesmanship, of course, just to try and get that crucial decision from the referee. Cham does well to take this ball down though, and he's off down the right-hand side. Plays the ball into the penalty area. Oh, it just gets away from Pirot. It might still be kept in play here by Wolf, and that's why Nyambe has to come across and put that out for a throw. Certainly couldn't leave that to chance and just hope it went out for a goal kick. I don't think it would have done. So Wolf just putting enough pressure on Nyambe. Throw to Swansea now down the left-hand side. Paterson leaves this for Hannes Wolf. Where's he going to go with this? It's a short throw to Obafemi. It's really well there, Obafemi, to turn away from a couple of Blackburn players. Impressed with Michael Obafemi. Not seen too much of him in this game, but doesn't matter. He's got the number 9 on his shirt. He scored the only goal. Hasn't really had too much of an impact other than that, but the ball hasn't really been finding him. I was impressed with Obafemi the first time I saw him play for Southampton. Then he suffered a couple of really serious injuries, which is always such a shame when a young player at a Premier League club, just finding his way, then has to stop for 3, 4, 5 months with a ligament injury and try and rebuild everything, and obviously keep your mind right, keep your fitness right as well. It's always a big test. It's a big test for older players who've got more experience, but for younger players I think it really can be making or breaking of them if they don't do it quite right. But Obafemi back fit, out on loan, and scoring goals as well here for Swansea. We're looking to get a few more, of course, as Blackburn now just under a bit of pressure here was Scott Wharton from Obafemi. He has to go back towards his goalkeeper Kaminski. Long clearance from him over the head of Ryan Hedges. That's really good play there from Manning, just to guide that ball away from John Buckley, but then the pass wasn't very good. It's straight to Joe Rothwell, and he's off on the run, gets that ball into the penalty area, shot on the angle, saved by Fisher, but it deflects back out into his 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper will be very grateful that the ball deflected straight to Flynn Downs, who was able to then clear it away. And in the end, Swansea win themselves a free kick inside their own half, but this is not good. Manning does really well to get the ball away from Buckley, then a terrible pass that's at least 3 yards too short to get through to the Cham, and this is a great chance for Rovers. Getting into the box there, the strike from just want to see who it was who had the effort there for Blackburn on that left hand side. It was Lewis Travis, puts his left foot through that one. In fact, it was Giles in the end. I will get it right eventually, I do apologise, but it was Giles with the effort, forcing that save from Fisher. And it wasn't the best save, I've got to say. He was stood at his near post, and the ball sort of deflected under his body and ended up inside the 6-yard box. He was trying to save a shot on the angle. Clearly he would have dealt with that a little bit differently, but in the end, no harm done there for the home side. Still lead by a 1-0. After that header from Michael Obafemi on 16 minutes. 36 minutes now, independent off-tube studio commentary. It's the Premier League game that kicked off around 6 minutes ago between Burnley and Watford. Goalless so far. Here come Swansea now, though, with Nacham. Runs, that's a strong challenge there from Nacham. And furious Blackburn players here. I mean, referee Tim Robinson is going to show him a yellow. I don't think it was ever going to be a red. But Olivier Nacham is going to get a bit of a telling off here. What colours it is going to be a yellow? I don't think it was ever going to be a red. It was a strong yellow there from the Cham. I don't think it ever really crept into that red card category, particularly in the Championship, where just that little bit more industrial play is permitted. We'll see from this replay. This is the Cham's fault. He overplays the ball, and as he tries to win it back, he does slide in and go through Scott Wharton a bit. This reverse angle was there. It's not as bad as it first looked. There's not as much intent from the Cham actually as I thought there might have been. It's the second yellow card for the Frenchman this season. Celtic man, I think he'll be. I wouldn't say he'd be a relief. I think it would have been very harsh to send him off for that. He was trying to win the ball back. Did catch the man, but I wouldn't say it was any kind of intent there really. But here come Blackburn now down the right hand side. Nyambi is brought down. And I think Ryan Manning might be looking at a yellow card here. Nyambi picks himself up. And it is a yellow card for Ryan Manning. So after a slow start in this game, the cards are just starting to stack up now. That's 2 Swansea players booked in the space of a minute there. Nacham and now Manning. And so Nacham got his 2nd yellow card of the season. Irishman Ryan Manning has his 7th, but of course he's a left back and a physical left back at that, so I would expect, in fact he's playing as although he's a left back by trade, Manning he's playing in that centre back 3 now, isn't he, over on the left of those 3, so it's going to be a lot of physical play there from Manning. His side have got a free kick to defend now though, and it's a good opportunity this for Blackburn. Plenty of players just at the edge of the 6-yard box watching the offside line that Swansea have set here. We'll see if this is going to be Rothwell with the right foot, or indeed Ryan Giles with the left. Those are the 2 options. It is going to be Giles with the left. Goes for goal. Oh, it's curling towards goal. Swept away by Grimes, pretty much on the line. With looks to me as though keeper Andy Fisher might have been beaten. So over on the right-hand side now, the ball in from Giles is flicked away. Good chance here now for Obafemi. Had to turn back towards his own goal though. Now Jamie Paterson spots a lot of space down the right hand side here for Cyrus Christie. Christie over the halfway line. He's got Nacham for support down the right hand side. That's where the ball has gone. Nacham just holds it up. rolling it back towards the halfway line now for Flynn Downs. Square to Ryan Manning. Inside now to Perot. The ball back to Manning. He hits it first time. I think he was hoping for either Perot or indeed Obafemi to have started a run down the channel to go after that pass, but nobody quite on Manning's wavelength, so it's Blackburn back in possession. Jean-Paul Van Heck with a long clearance. That's not a long clearance, that's a great long ball to find Ryan Nyambe. Nyambe at the edge of the area, just needs a bit of support here now. Rovers right back, rolls it back in towards Lewis Travis. Travis inside now to Ryan Hedges. Play this from Rothwell to keep Blackburn in possession. Swansea trying to press here to win the ball back, but it's with Lewis Travis again on the right-hand side. Back into Lenihan. It's Van Heck and Wharton now on the halfway line. Back into Van Heck, under pressure here from Obafemi. And Wharton under pressure now, finding Deo Zifuik. Zifuik running straight into Olivier Ntcham though, and as Wharton tries to win that ball back for Blackburn, he commits a foul on Olivier Ntcham, so it will be a free kick to Swansea City. Less than 5 minutes of regulation play now left in this first half. Swansea still lead against Blackburn after that goal from Michael Obafemi on 16 minutes after the cross from Jamie Paterson. Blackburn have hit the post, and from that header that hit the post, they missed from 5 or 6 yards, but now Swansea give it away at the edge of their own box. Scott Wharton stepping forward, almost gets into the penalty area. He gets stopped. It's back with Joe Rothwell now. He floats the ball in, looking for Wharton, who heads it towards goal. But he was trying so hard to get away from the Swansea man. It was Manning who was trying to stop him jumping for that. He spent all of his effort really trying to get away from Manning. Not enough power on the header, and it was easy in the end. But this is not good from Ben Cabango. That's the second time in this game where he's gifted Blackburn possession at the edge of the Swansea City penalty area. Cabango can't be doing things like that. So gone out for a throw to Blackburn down the left-hand side. As we can see, Ben Brereton Diaz sat on the bench for us. The whole bench, by the way, I'll go through Swansea's first, the home side. It's Latibaudier, Smith, Joseph, Bennett, Burns, Fulton, and keeper Ben Hamer on the bench for Swansea City this evening. As for Blackburn, they have Ayala, Brereton, Kadra, Davenport, Johnson, Rankin, Costello, as well as young goalkeeper Piers. Those are the substitutes for the two sides this evening. I want to Swansea City down the right here with Cabango. Leaves it in fact for Christie. Not seen as much of Christie in this game, but that's because we've not seen too much attacking possession for Swansea. Christie in that midfield force, similarly like Hannes Wolf, another good player, left-footed Austrian player playing for Swansea in that midfield. Just hasn't found the channel so much, but now our ball deflects into the path of Hannes Wolf, and he's off down the left, but that was after a header from Joel Perot, who was in an offside position as far as the linesman was concerned. Interesting stat that we've had possession lost 8 times in this game by sides in front of their own goal. Blackburn have lost possession once, Swansea have lost possession 7 times in their defensive third. So that's credit to Blackburn for pressing and winning the ball back, but also a warning to Swansea that they're giving the ball away inside their own half far too easily. And Rovers, if anything, have just been a little bit off colour so far in this game in terms of their attacking play, because certainly the attacking chances that they've had should have generated more than just that one effort off the post and that one effort over the bar, as well as, of course, that strike that Fisher needed to save. And in the first few minutes, a couple of crosses that flashed past Ryan Nyambe, of all people, who ended up inside the middle of the penalty area. But meanwhile, it's gone out for a throw to Swansea City. I know it's gone out for a throw to Swansea City because it's taking a very, very long time to set up. I think the home side can just sense that Blackburn are just starting to edge their way back in terms of possession and confidence. And Swansea do want to see out this first half, maintaining this 1-goal lead. As Grimes hits the deck, but he wasn't fouled. We did look up expecting a free kick there from the referee. Blackburn now guilty of giving it away inside their own half. And here is Perot trying to feed that in towards Wolf. He's just marshalled off it though by Ryan Nyambe, who then allows that ball to go out of play as well. It will be a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers. Tony Mowbray with a shout of up, up, up. So I'm assuming he doesn't want this goal kick taken short. He wants Blackburn to try and send this long and generate some sort of attacking possession in these last few minutes. Be interested to see how much injury time there is. Actually, we did have one injury stoppage. We've had a goal, a couple of set pieces. So I would say that 2 minutes would be about standard. Very surprised if there was any more than that. But just waiting to see as this ball goes out for a throw. It's taken quickly here. The ball now over on the right-hand side. The Cham into Paterson. Paterson sends a ball up to the halfway line. It's too high for Obafemi. Loose ball swept up here by Matt Grimes, but his pass to Christie. That's good play there. Blackburn win the ball back. We're into injury time. There's going to be 3 minutes of it, and the ball is threaded through here. A great chance now as Hedges breaks into the box. He strikes it with the left foot, just away from goal. Does it get a slight deflection for the corner? I think it might do. But this is a good run here from Ryan Hedges. Never offside. Timed his run perfectly. If I was being ultra critical, I would have said the pass to Hedges could have been a yard further in front of him, just so he could have run onto that ball at real pace and maybe hit it with his laces rather than the inside of the boot. But just looking at that replay now, I don't think it did get a deflection in the end, so it won't be a corner kick. It just looked to begin with as though they might have got a slight nick off the Swansea man. It's not to be. Swansea goal kick taken short initially, but now Andy Fisher does clear it long up towards the halfway line. Headed forward there by Zifuik, back towards the Swansea keeper. And, Fisher is quite happy to roll this ball out for Flynn Downs, who, although he's a centre-back, seen more of the ball than some of his midfield colleagues in this game. But that's actually a sort of a byproduct, as we see from quite a few teams, not just, of course, in the Premier League, but in the Championship, right across the divisions, with this slow playing out from the back style where teams don't want to send the ball long too often. Does mean that centre-backs almost become the most important ball carriers, really, a lot of the time for a lot of teams. But Blackburn trying to push on. They've still got just under 90 seconds here of injury time to try and work an equaliser in. Niambi's been busy down the right-hand side. He's the ball back towards Lenihan. His pass searching for Giles is cleared, but Van Egg is there for Blackburn. Plays it back to Kaminski, who's wandered a long way out from his own goal. Just quite happy to play that ball over towards Scott Wharton. Now it's with Hedges back towards his own keeper again. Swansea pressing here in the form of Joel Pirot. That's an easy clearance though from Kaminski up towards the halfway line. Grimes under pressure goes back towards Downs, and Buckley and Zifuik both closing down on goalkeeper Fisher, but he clears that with plenty of time to spare, and then Dara Lenihan bumps into the back of Jamie Paterson. That will be a free kick to Swansea City with just 30 seconds of injury time to play. So this should be it as far as any chances or half chances for Blackburn in this first half. Matt Grimes stood over that, wanted to take it quickly, and decides to just hold on to it momentarily for playing it square then to Manning. Manning back to Downs. Cabango then looks up, doesn't fancy it, goes back to his own keeper. Fisher clears it up towards the halfway line. It's headed on by Ryan Manning, and referee Tim Robinson, 1, 2 looks at the watch, and then he decides that is it for this first half at the Swansea.com stadium. It is the home side, Swansea City, that lead by a goal to nil after a header from Michael Obafemi on 16 minutes. And I'm back in 15 minutes for second half of Tube Studio Commentary.